Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Schooling Around. This week we have more interesting things in store for you all, starting with a Leonard assembly, then we head over to Green Team and ending with the Equestrian team. So don't go anywhere, Schooling Around starts right now. Starting off the show today, we are going to head over to Leonard Elementary School for their school-wide assembly. Take a look. We are here at Leonard Elementary School for one of their mini Pride assemblies. Muffins for Moms, the sign behind me, just ended, and now their school-wide assembly is about to start. We're going to turn our attention over and see what it's all about. I am here with the principal of Leonard Elementary School. Can you tell us what the pies in the face were all about?
So earlier this year we had our spring fair, and one of the silent auction items is throw a pie in the principal's face, throw a pie in your teacher's face. And so parents bid on those things, and the winning bids, then those kids get to come up in front of the assembly and do the pie. Twice a month we do an assembly that has kids get awards, different types of presentations. We think it's important for our kids to get up in front of the whole school and do presentations. And we don't do pies in the face. We only do that once a year, maybe twice, but we do other fun things throughout the year too.
And the presentations that the group of students presented, is that something that they come up with on their own? Are they guided throughout that? How does that work?
Nope, it's usually something that they come up with on their own. This one happened to be we just finished our exhibition, our fifth grade exhibition this week. So some of the fifth graders had some projects that they were taking action with that they wanted to share with the student body.
Here is the challenge. We would like to send goats from our Leonard family to needy families in Africa. These goats will provide daily milk, cheese, and manure for their crops. This will show us as caring and helpful to ending hunger. How can we make a difference? You can take action in two ways.
Classroom loose change tool. Students bring a loose change in the classroom with the most change. At the end of the challenge, once the classroom grand prize. Cash donations. The challenge that will send a goat to Africa. The challenge runs from May 8th to May 30th.
Winning class earns popsicles and an extra recess and extra prep time for your teacher. Do it for the families in Africa and your teacher. They need it. They need the break. Thank you, Leonard.
So we've been doing a fun day since yesterday and today. So on Monday we knew that we can't play video games or go on social media or YouTube, but we can still use it for learning purposes and research and emergencies. See, I made an announcement over the VA that said that we can't use technology, we cannot use video games or social media or YouTube today and yesterday.
Support their cause, no gaming today. Great, thank you guys.
We wanted to participate and do Red Nose Day, and For Red Nose Day, you can wear your red nose, and that helps spread awareness about homelessness. All the money you donate to Walgreens helps get kids out of poverty. Red Nose Day is on May 23rd. So wear a red nose or bracelet on May 23rd. And if you want to participate, you can go to Walgreens and donate $2 and get a red nose. They also have bracelets and pens that you can get.
All right, well, thank you for allowing us here today and allowing us to record you getting pied in the face.
You're welcome. It's fun to have you here.
So that was one of Leonard's mini assemblies. They typically have at least one a month, hopefully 2 a month. That might have been this year's last assembly, so we hope you enjoyed. Students were honored for their perfect attendance, for good grades, good behavior, and things like that. And they had a special bonus where they got to throw pies in selected teachers as well as their principals' faces. And then moving right along into another elementary school, we went over to Clear Lake for their very last Green Team meeting. It was a special one, so take a look. All right, as you can see, we are here at Clear Lake Elementary School for the students' Plarn party. They're changing all of these plastic bags here behind me into pillows and different things for the homeless. So we're going to speak to a few of the advisors and see what's the most important part about doing this event. With Mrs. Nimi. Mrs. Nimi, can you tell us the reason behind all of these plastic bags?
Sure. So as a school, we really believe in taking action in any way that we can. That's a part of the IB philosophy and what we really teach to our students here at Clear Lake. So this Plarn party came about because right now we have 5th graders going through the IB Primary Years Program exhibition process. So we have students who are interested in land pollution, water pollution, poverty as well. And so together we learned about Plarn, and we really thought it was a cool idea because all of these groups could come together on one day and take action, and it would help all of their topics. So by reusing the bags, they're helping the environment, whether it be land or water, by creating the Plarn that's helping the homeless and those who are in need, so giving back to the community. And then we also love to try to bring in others as part of our action and bring awareness to the cause. So then the kids actually promoted the Plarn party and the teachers helped as well. And that's how we got our Daisy troops. We have extended day here. We have other kids who are in other grade levels that are here to take action as well.
Now, what grade levels are we looking at here? And then we keep hearing this Plarn word. What does Plarn stand for?
All right, so we have students from developmental kindergarten all the way through 5th grade represented here at the Plarn party. And when we talk about Plarn, we're talking about plastic yarn. So we're actually going to use 100% of the grocery bag, where we are teaching the kids how to sort it and then fold and then actually create strands that will then be like taken and kind of knotted together in a process to create a ball of Plarn. It takes 20 bags to make one ball of Plarn. And then the Plarn is crocheted, just like you would normally crochet a blanket with yarn. We would crochet then the plastic yarn into making mats for the homeless and also pillows.
And then I heard you say that especially with plastic, it's easy for, the homeless to wash it off and for it to dry quickly. And besides that, also, it's so many bags out here, and we get so many on a daily basis that 20 bags in comparison is not a lot.
Right. So it's just an amazing process because all this would just be going into a landfill, or I mean, luckily we have collection bins in our different buildings. So I actually was able to go to one of our other elementary schools, Daniel Axford, where part of their green team, they collect the grocery bags. So I was able to actually kind of, it's like, again, like involving more people and get bags from them, getting them from local grocery stores, from their collection sites. So just really taking all of those things out of the environment to be able to be repurposed, and then seeing that then out in the public for those who need that kind of material.
Now, is Clear Lake the only elementary school that does this Plarn party, or is Daniel Axford, for instance, involved as well?
So we were actually inspired by a teacher at Daniel Axford. Her name is Renee Green. She teaches second grade. She came a few years ago. She was involved in the project. This year we actually had at our high school, we had a group of high school students that had sponsored a party. And so we went to their party. But we're the one elementary school right now that is doing the Plarn.
So it's not just an elementary school effort, it's district-wide, it sounds like.
Yeah, so it's really open. I love the fact that it started like just hearing about it in the community from one teacher, how it's now grown to the secondary students, and then also bringing it back because it's something that, like I said, I mean, we have kids as young as developmental kindergarten here today that really can be involved in helping.
Tell us again, developmental kindergarten is what, 3 and 4-year-olds?
So that is like our young 5 kindergarten class. So they're 5 years and up are here today.
Wow. So that certainly is spreading a message for the entire district, not just, our early 5-year-olds on up, but seniors and all of the high school as well. So we're going to go ahead and speak to Miss Danielle, of course. We have to speak with her and maybe close it out. All right, so Miss Danielle, how many times does the Plarn party actually take place?
This is actually our first one, but we're hoping to make it an annual event.
And now once everything is said and done and the kids have made what they're going to, where does it all get donated to?
We're donating it to an organization called Motor City Mitten Mission, and they go around to Detroit, and they're starting to branch out into like Pontiac and local areas, but they give it to homeless people.
Is there any specific group of homeless people or organization that they donate these to?
They go out every night, so they kind of have a good idea of where it's needed most, so they go out and just give it to whoever needs it.
And what do you think the students learn or take away most from this project?
Well, I hope it's twofold. We have a lot of kids here that are green team, so they get the idea of keeping all this plastic bags out of the environment, but then they also know that it is going to be helping people that don't have as much as they do, the homeless people. So.
And then I was being told that it is a community thing. It's not just elementary students, but also the high school is involved.
Yeah, we got the idea from a group of high school kids a couple months ago, and then after that, me and Mrs. Nemi kind of were like, we need to do this at our school. So we started collecting plastic bags and from everyone. So it's been fun to see how many we've been getting in.
And can we expect this same event next year or maybe the year after?
Yes. Yep, I'm hoping so. I want to make it an annual event, get bigger and bigger every year. So for being the first time, I think it's a pretty good turnout.
Very good turnout, and we look forward to an even bigger turnout at your very last Green Team meeting a few days from now, which we will be there. So see you soon.
Yes, we'll see you later.
All right, so that about wraps up this Plarn party. We're going to head out and let the students do what they came here to do and help the homeless. Ms. Danielle hosted their annual Plarn party. That's plastic yarn. Students gathered together that day, both from the Green Team, some Girl Scouts, and different kids inside of the building, to put all their plastic bags together and make this plastic yarn for the homeless, for pillows and mats and different things that they could all use all year round, especially because it's temperature resilient. It dries a little bit faster than most things do, so that was nice to see them really coming together to do something for the homeless. But moving into our very last segment of today's show, we went over to Willow Tree Farms to speak with the equestrian team coach and some of those students. Take a look. Ms. D, what all goes into owning an equestrian farm?
A lot of work, a lot of expense, but it's also a lot of fun.
And how many horses do you house here?
We have 7 horses here at present. 4 of them are boarders for kids on the equestrian team that train with one of the kids here. And it's 24/7, but it's a heartfelt passion that most of us all experience and enjoy.
And now you have to have some sort of horse riding, taking care of horses in your past to feel so passionate about this.
I had a horse when I was a kid. My dad had race horses. It's been very much a learn as you go experience. My kids started riding very young, and they did a lot of hunter jumper showing. They were on the equestrian team back in the day, and we just never left. It's just like my coaches, they've all been on the team previously. One of my other coaches, she was a mom with her kid on the team, and she has stayed with us as well as her daughter.
And speaking of the kids that you have on this team, how many students are here?
Right now we have 10 kids on the team, and I believe we have probably 8. One was having an health issue and one was on track. So I believe otherwise we've got the 8 here, 3 of them that were riding, and they all do a little different discipline. So, and again, trailering horses is always an event. So it takes, sometimes you can make it, sometimes you can't.
And now for the age groups for the students, what do those vary in?
Anywhere from the incoming 8th graders, so they'll be 9th grade in the fall, through 12th grade. Unfortunately, the school won't let us have 5th year seniors, so.
So one student that you have in particular, Michaela Haywood, she's a senior this year. What kind of programs do you have for students who aren't necessarily in the school system anymore, but still want to come back and be a part of the family?
Well, a lot of them do come back and continue to assist at practices, and they will also come out to meets. They help teach the newer kids with minimal experience what all they have to do in prepping their horse, teaching their horse new disciplines, how to tack, how to clean. There's a lot involved in showing a horse. It's not just throw a saddle up and go. You have to be well prepared in the proper clothing. So, and again, all of our assistant coaches have been former team members, riders.
And speaking of some of the older students coming back to help the younger ones, we have some here today. I was told that it's a middle schooler who is actually riding the horse. That doesn't happen too often?
Not usually. Her sister is on the high school team. She is using one of my horses for the junior team. So we thought it would be a good idea for her to just get some extra experience with other horses in the ring. A little more pressure, somebody watching, expectations. They put most of the pressure on themselves, but it would just be a good experience. Since her meet is coming up this weekend, it was just kind of a last-minute practice for her and the pony to get ready.
Now, speaking of competitions, how often or how regularly do students have these competitions?
Our high school competitions start in September. We have 3 meets. Then if we qualify by either being first or second in our district, then we qualify for regionals, which is in Mason. That's the last weekend of September. Then if we're first or second in that division, then we go on to states, which is the middle of October in Midland, which I'm proud to say we've been up there 19 years in a row.
Well, congratulations. And for students and parents who are looking to get into equestrian and be a part of the team, what can they do and where can they go?
Well, if they call the school, they will get my number. They can give me a call. We'll give them the information. They do need the use of a horse. They do need to have some riding experience and be able to get some horse shows in. We're happy to help them, point them where to go, suggest what they need to get experience in, and of course come to practices.
Now, I guess the big question is, do students need to own a horse to be a part of the team?
They don't need to own it, but they need to be able to borrow it or lease it, own it. We don't suggest going out and randomly buying a horse. You need to see what your interests are, and then you need to focus on finding a horse that will meet those interests and meet your riding ability. There's huge differences, and we, as coaches, are all willing to help find that horse or help you decide on what's going to work best for you.
Great. Well, thank you for talking to me.
Sure.
So now we have the majority of the equestrian team right here, right, ladies? So how long have all of you guys been a part of the team?
I started riding my freshman year and I'm going into my senior year.
Okay. So is it usually new girls coming on and off the field, or is it pretty set throughout the season?
Actually, this is my first year on, so I think from what I can tell, I know there's like a lot of like seniors that graduated, so I think it's kind of just new year, new people.
And this being your very first year on the equestrian team, what do you think it's difficult or pretty easygoing? How would you describe your experience so far?
I think because of how close together the team is, it's definitely a really big family, and everyone's really supportive and really helpful.
And is this your first, second year on the team?
This will be my second year on the team.
Okay. So what do you think the team usually is like? Is it a lot of seniors leaving and freshmen or even sophomores coming on?
There tends to be quite a few seniors that leave, and people that join, it just kind of like depends.
How long do you think it takes for you guys to really come together and just participate as a big team?
Well, I think it takes a while because you have to learn everyone's personalities, and then you also have to incorporate the horses. But we usually all get along because we love horses. So.
And do you typically all go to Oxford High School?
Yeah, all of us do.
So do you see each other around the halls and possibly like speak to each other, have the same classes?
Yeah.
Are any of these ladies in your classes?
No.
Okay, so what do you think is some of the most difficult things that you do on the team?
I think being able to like ride the horse is probably the most difficult because it's hard to control them every now and then.
Okay. And what is the easiest thing?
I don't know.
I guess sometimes learning the patterns can be easier, but it gets harder once you have to incorporate your horse to like, you have to mold them to do it.
Okay. And what's the I guess the just range that most students walking onto the equestrian team in high school have been riding?
Usually people ride 4 years, but it depends when they get involved. Like if they join their freshman year, they'll most likely ride 4 years, but if they join like their sophomore year, it's 3 years.
Do you think that most high school students know about the equestrian team, especially you since this is your first year? Is this something you just found out about?
I knew about it last year, but wasn't able to join because I had just moved here. But I think actually, I mentioned it today to someone, and she goes, "We have an equestrian team?" And I was like, Yeah, we do.
What are some ways that you think can spread the idea or the knowledge that there is an equestrian team or equestrian club, if that's what your high school like to call it, to the student body?
Maybe just get a little bit out there a little more.
Now I am here with some assistant coaches. Guys, do you specialize in different departments?
I am the assistant coach for more so the speed events, but I do help out in equitation and showmanship where I can.
Awesome. And what about for you?
I'm mostly equitation, like showmanship, horsemanship, stuff like that.
So you both have the same job almost, right?
Yep, very similar.
So what goes into that?
A lot of dedication, time, hard work, and commitment just to being at all the practices, helping the girls at the practices and also outside of practices, giving them lessons and more one-on-one tips and experience.
And what do you specialize in?
I specialize in showmanship and equitation, which is basically what Jen had said. And so, that's primarily what I focus on.
And what do you think the most important about those areas are?
I guess the most important thing is, and one of the things actually I like the most about it, is that it's extremely precise. Like, I feel that if you can do it successfully, that you can ride just about any horse that you want, just because it is such a precise practice, and we really, really work hard at making the girls better at the preciseness.
And now I heard that it's very precise, obviously, just a second ago, and it's a lot of different types of horses. What are some different types of horses? I've never heard that before.
Yeah, we have quarter horses, we have thoroughbreds, warm bloods, a mixture of both, some Arabs, I think. So, yeah, a whole wide range. So.
And all of these different horses, they're best at certain aspects?
You could say that. Yeah, we mostly put like the thoroughbreds, warm bloods in like saddle seat, English equitation route, Quarter horses, they can be faster for speed events, and they also have like the ability to do showmanship and the equitation stuff, the slow stuff that we do. So.
And then Miss D was telling me that all of you guys at some point had, time on the equestrian team. So what is the best part about it, do you think?
The best part about being on the equestrian team is the family and the camaraderie that we all build and create over the years. Clearly, all of our assistant coaches have been on the team and have come back to coach. So we just love it and couldn't get enough. But yeah, just the memories and the friendships.
And is it some of the same horse? I don't know how long it's been since you guys been on here, but that wasn't a joke or a dig, I promise. But is it, some familiar faces coming back?
It is, yeah. It's fun when there's like siblings on the team, like we had tonight at practice, and it's cool just watching them grow from when they start as a freshman to a senior, and how much, the ability that has changed and where they come from and how they end the season. So that's what's exciting.
And do you guys ever get to see some of your old horses?
My horse has actually been leased previously by a couple of riders who rode him in the past, and so we don't necessarily always have horses that are coming up, but one horse in particular, actually, Bond, has been used by a lot of riders, and he was originally ridden by Liz, who is Dee's daughter, so many years ago on the team, which is kind of cool. So he kind of is our all-star horse who always keeps coming back, it seems like. I think he's officially retired, though, so, yeah.
Now, is it a bond forever, actually, once you ride these horses?
I would say yes. I mean, you have to work pretty hard at the beginning, especially when you first get a horse, to really build a relationship with them. But it's one of those relationships I feel like that can't really break once you have it pretty solid.
And what is a bit of advice for students looking to get into equestrian that you can give?
Sure, yeah. The main thing really is if you love horses and love the sport, you're bound to find something for you. And like what Dee was saying earlier, to contact us and to come watch practices and see what we're about and find the discipline that fits you, and then we can help you even find a horse that fits that discipline. And I think it's great for just people to come learn about us, because not many people know what equestrian team even means. So.
I was one of those people. I had to learn, so now I know. Thank you for talking to me, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, that about does it for this episode of Scrolling Around in our Community Access. We're going to toss it back to Bill at the desk. We haven't done a lot with the equestrian team, but that is changing, so stay on the lookout for more interviews as well as upcoming competitions with them. If you'd like to see the entire segment for this story, stay tuned to Our Community Access with Bill Service. But that about wraps up this episode of Scrolling Around. Until next time, I'm Alexis Ware.
We here at OCTV cover the local events and government meetings of Oxford, Addison, and Leonard. We also produce and edit programs for you viewers out there. With the leadership of our station manager, Bill Service, we have been a very successful team, winning awards from the state of Michigan for Best Electronic Media, giving attention to our local veterans. We also won awards for excellence in directing and educational programs. With the help of our great new equipment and our technical directors, we write, produce, and broadcast our local news for you. Without our production manager, Terry Stiles, our channel and station wouldn't be the well-oiled machine it is today. She coordinates the editing assignments and shoot schedule with our editors and camera people. OCTV and its communities make a great team.